Hi, I hope you're doing fine. And I also hope that your IELTS preparation is going really well. Um, Today's topic for discussion is paraphrasing. We are going to discuss some tips and some tricks on how to use paraphrasing. All right. So, this word paraphrasing, I'm very sure that you've heard it a lot, be it in listening or writing, especially in speaking and writing, right? All the four modules carry importance for paraphrasing. अगर paraphrasing आपको नहीं आ रहा, then you are actually swimming in really dangerous waters when it comes to IELTS. Paraphrasing आना would really help you score the marks or the bands that you want. So I really want you guys to pay attention on this lecture because we are going to teach you how to use paraphrasing when it comes to writing and speaking. Right, अगर paraphrasing आपको आ गया, then it is really likely that you will score the bands that you are thinking or the bands that you're targeting. All right, so let us start. Right. So why do you need to paraphrase? In IELTS, paraphrase चलो हमें एक हद तक पता भी है paraphrase क्या है. अगर नहीं पता, we'll clarify. That is okay. But why do we need paraphrasing? So let us see. Paraphrasing is simply rewriting a phrase or sentence so that it has the same meaning but with different words. Paraphrasing है क्या? एक ही जो सेंटेंस है उसको वापस से लिखना और उसमें एक चेंज करना है. उसमें चेंज क्या करना है कि जो थोड़े वर्ड्स है वो हमें अलग लिखना है. फ्यू ऑफ द वर्ड्स फ्रॉम योर सेंटेंस वी आर सपोज टू चेंज इन अ वे कि उसका मीनिंग सेम रहे. उसका मीनिंग चेंज नहीं होना चाहिए, बस वर्ड्स है वो अलग यूज करना है. Paraphrasing is one of the most important skills to learn before giving your IELTS. It is most important for writing and speaking, but will also help you in reading and listening tests. In other words, if you know how to paraphrase, you are more likely to get the score you need. Paraphrasing is highly needed in speaking in cue cards and also in writing task 1 and 2. एक चीज तो पता चल गई कि पैराफ्रेजिंग का इंपॉर्टेंस चारों मॉड्यूल में है. सबसे ज्यादा देखे तो स्पीकिंग एक क्यू कार्ड में और राइटिंग टास्क 1 and 2, मतलब आपका पूरा राइटिंग. लेट अस मूव फॉरवर्ड. लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल तो आपको एक बेसिक आइडिया आ जाए कि पैराफ्रेजिंग है क्या. पैराफ्रेजिंग इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल्स टू लर्न बिफोर गिविंग योर IELTS टेस्ट. अभी सेंटेंस क्या कहना चाहता है कि IELTS की टेस्ट देने से पहले पैराफ्रेजिंग जानना एक सबसे बड़ी और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट स्किल है. राइट, पैराफ्रेजिंग इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट स्किल्स टू लर्न बिफोर यू गिव योर IELTS टेस्ट. अभी हम इसका पैराफ्रेज्ड सेंटेंस देखेंगे कि इसको पैराफ्रेज करके वापस कैसे लिखेंगे हम लोग. Prior to taking the IELTS test, mastering paraphrasing is one of the most crucial things to do. One thing we all noticed is that the meaning of both of these sentences, ऊपर वाला sentence और नीचे वाला sentence, दोनों का meaning same ही है. There is no difference in the meaning, right? As you can see, the second sentence, the paraphrased one, uses synonyms to change some vocabulary. हमने synonyms use किया है. Important की जगह पे हमने crucial लिखा है, right? Instead of learning the skills हम लोग ने mastering paraphrasing लिखा है. You see, it is not the exact synonym of that word, but it is nearly similar, right? prior की जगह पे हमने before लिखा है, so and so. You can also change the word order. जो शब्द का जो order है कि पहले ये है फिर उसके बाद दूसरा word है, तो you can also jumble the word in order to paraphrase. Now there are 3 ways to do paraphrasing for your writing task. आपका जो writing task 2 है, the one which is your essay, उसको paraphrase करने के लिए we have 3 ways in which you can successfully paraphrase a sentence or paraphrase an entire paragraph. Let us see. Before you attempt to paraphrase, you need to make sure that you understand the gist or meaning of the paragraph. Now, first thing to understand is कि अगर आपको paraphrase अच्छे से करना है, तो आपको वो जो paragraph है उसका meaning समझना पड़ेगा. If you do not understand the meaning of the paragraph, तो आप उसको paraphrase कर ही कैसे पाओगे? Because paraphrasing needs you to understand the meaning. पैराफ्रेजिंग इज मोर देन जस्ट चेंजिंग वर्ड्स. बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट सोच रहे होंगे कि हाँ, हमें तो सिर्फ वर्ड्स थोड़े चेंज कर देना, व्हाट इज द बिग डील, बड़ी चीज क्या है. बट इट इज जस्ट मोर देन दैट. Your paraphrase needs to make sense and still convey the original message. आपका जो पैराफ्रेज आपने कर लिया है, आपने वर्ड्स अलग अलग यूज कर लिए, पर उसका मतलब बनना चाहिए. और जो ओरिजिनल मैसेज, जो सबसे पहले सेंटेंस का जो मीनिंग था, वो तो सेम ही रहना चाहिए. आपके सेंटेंस का मीनिंग बदल नहीं सकता. So you should read the original text couple of times to make sure you understand the message it conveys. You will have to read the sentence again and again to know what is the exact meaning. Then turn the ideas over in your mind. Think of how you would express same ideas to your friend. See, one easy way out is whenever we teach our friends, we are always going to simplify the meaning and then teach things to our friends. Exactly, right? तो जब भी आप कोई सेंटेंस पैराफ्रेज करना चाह रहे हो, आप बस एक बार सोचिए कि आपका जो फ्रेंड है, उनको आप कैसे समझाएंगे, एकदम ही सिंप्लीफाई करके, राइट? So that is the beginning or step one of paraphrasing. Below are three techniques to paraphrase. Rather than exclusively using one of them, a good paraphrase includes more than one methods of all of them. Now we have three methods by which you can paraphrase any sentence or any paragraph. And one thing that we have seen is that when there is a good paraphrase technique used in one of the sentences, उसमें एक से ज़्यादा technique ही use की हुई होती है. So first one is to use the synonyms. Synonyms are different words that express the same or similar meaning. हम सबको पता है synonym का meaning क्या है. कोई भी word है, उसका meaning same रहता है, बस कोई दूसरा word उसकी जगह पे. It expresses something same or similar, right? That word is known as a synonym. For example, words like interesting, fascinating, curious, and amusing are all synonyms. ये चारों शब्द हैं, उनका meaning almost similar है, right? But some synonyms can have a slightly different meaning. For example, fascinating has a strong meaning than interesting. थोड़े synonyms होते हैं, उनकी meaning शायद से अलग हो. It would not be a major difference, but there is a chance that there's a minor difference between the meaning of both the synonyms. So we have to be careful. Say, example, जो word है fascinating, उसका interesting से slightly अलग meaning है. Fascination has a strong emotion than interesting. So be careful when using synonyms. We need to make sure that words we are using convey the same level of meaning as the original. This is crucial. हमें ये भूलना नहीं है that the amount of emotion, the amount of expressions that we're showing should stay similar or should stay same while we're doing paraphrasing. Let us take an example of synonyms and you will get to know it better. Original text क्या है? Many people think that cars should not be allowed in city centers. उसका paraphrase क्या होगा? ध्यान से देखना. It is very simple. It is very straightforward. You will just know when and where to use different words. That is it. Many people believe. यहाँ think की जगह पे believe use कर दिया हमने, right? That motor vehicles should be banned in urban areas. That is it. Straight simple. बहुत ही ज़्यादा straightforward है. What are the words that we changed? Think का हमने believe कर दिया, cars का हमने motor vehicles कर दिया, should not be allowed का should be banned. This was negative, this is positive, right? यहाँ पे not था, यहाँ पे not नहीं है, but ultimately इसका meaning same है. City center की जगह पे urban areas कर दिया. I hope you understand that all these words do not necessarily have same meaning, but they are expressing same kind of emotion, same kind of a message, and hence we have used them instead of another word. Let us take another example. My car needs petrol. My car needs petrol. What have we done? My vehicle requires fuel. You can see petrol का fuel कर दिया, car का vehicle. There is not big or huge difference or any fancy words that we have used. See, basically the only motive to do paraphrasing is to show that our vocabulary is really strong. हमें दिखाना है कि हमारा vocabulary ज़्यादा है. We know wide number of words and we also know how to use them. And that is exactly what we're doing. Another example, global warming is mostly caused by emission from internal combustion of engines. इसका paraphrase क्या होगा? Climate change is mainly caused by the release of fumes from motor vehicles. I hope you understand the kind of paraphrasing or the kind of method we'll be using over here. So first one was using a synonym. वो हमारी first method थी. Second method क्या है? To change the word forms. Let us see. Another way to paraphrase is to change word forms. For example, changing a noun into a verb into a noun, or an adjective into a noun, or vice versa. अभी सिनोनिम वाली एक मेथड तो हमें पता है. दूसरी मेथड क्या है कि आपका जो वर्ड होता है उसका फॉर्म बदल दे. आप नाउन में से वर्ब कर दे, वर्ब में से नाउन कर दे, नाउन को एडजेक्टिव में बदल दे, और द अदर वे अराउंड. Let us see examples. Many people find watching tennis interesting. Right. So what is the sentence? बहुत सारे लोगों को टेनिस देखना बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है. Over here, interesting is adjective. Why? Because it is adding feature to a sentence. Right? That how do people find tennis? Then it is interesting. यहाँ पे हमने क्या कर दिया है? हमने इंटरेस्टिंग जो एडजेक्टिव है उसको नॉन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया है. हाउ? मेनी पीपल हैव एन इंटरेस्ट इन वॉचिंग टेनिस. मेनी पीपल हैव व्हाट? एन इंटरेस्ट. राइट. यहाँ पे हाउ था, यहाँ पे व्हाट कर दिया है. हेंस आवर वर्ड इंटरेस्ट ओवर हियर इज नॉन एज नाउन. Another example, some people think Facebook is an invasion of privacy. यहाँ पे invasion है, it is used as noun. Let us turn that into verb. Some people think Facebook has invaded our privacy. दोनों का meaning same है. You can see that both the examples have the same meaning, but the verb form has changed. Another example, longer lifespans and improvements in the health of older people suggests that people over the age of 65 can continue to live full and active lives. अभी ये बोल रहे हैं कि बहुत ही हेल्थ में ज्यादा इम्प्रूवमेंट आ रहा है, लॉन्गर लाइफ स्पैन्स. दैट इज सजेस्टिंग दैट पीपल ओवर द एज ऑफ 65 वो भी एक एक्टिव और फुल लाइफ जी सकते हैं. लेट अस पैराफ्रेज. Longer lifespans and improvements in the health of older people are suggesting. यहाँ पे सिर्फ था people suggest, तो suggest का हमने कर दिया यहाँ पे are suggesting that people over the age of 65 can continue living full and active life. यहाँ continue to live था, यहाँ पे हमने continue living कर दिया है. I hope you see that how we have changed the verb form. Right? And this is the last method how we can use paraphrasing. Third method is to change the sentence structure. Sentence का पूरा structure ही अलग कर दो. A third way to paraphrase is to change sentence structure. This could be by changing the order of the clauses or by changing the sentence from active to passive or vice versa. Let's have a look. What is our third method saying? या तो आप अपना जो sentence है उसका order बदल दो. आगे का जो part है उसको पीछे ले लो, पीछे का part आगे ले लो. That way order, or probably just change it from active to passive या फिर passive to active. Active passive में generally हम वही करते हैं. We have an entire lecture on active and passive. अगर आपको deep में पढ़ना है, it is an amazing, marvelous lecture which will clarify your doubts regarding active and passive. I really suggest आप वो देखें. यहाँ पे हम लोग एकदम brief में देखेंगे active passive, but in case you want to learn it in detail, again there is a different lecture for it. Alright, so active passive generally क्या है? To change the order. Subject को हम object बना देते थे, object को हम subject बना देते थे, और वैसे ही वैसे sentence का meaning same रहता था, पर जो positioning है subject और object की वो change हो जाती थी. Let us see examples and you will see what I'm trying to say. All right, so what is clauses? What is order of clauses? A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. Clause मतलब क्या? एक जो आपकी जो सेंटेंस की लाइन होती है उसके अंदर वर्ब है, उसके अंदर सब्जेक्ट है, तो वो जो पूरा लाइन है उसको हम लोग क्लॉज बोलेंगे. Some sentences can be a single clause, some sentences can be made up of two or more clauses. इसके ऊपर भी एक अलग से लेक्चर है, that is types of sentences known as simple, compound and complex. You can also refer to that lecture to get in the depth of the concept. So let us take an example. It is difficult to say whether the economy will improve. इसमें दो clauses है. First one is if it is difficult to say. Combined by what word? Whether. Whether हमारा क्या है यहाँ पे? Whether over here is a conjunction. तो जब भी कंजंक्शन बीच में आता है तो दो सेंटेंसेस को जोड़ा हुआ होता है. फर्स्ट सेंटेंस वुड बी फर्स्ट क्लॉज, सेकंड सेंटेंस वुड बी सेकंड क्लॉज, और बीच में क्या रहेगा? कंजंक्शन. राइट. सो फर्स्ट सेंटेंस इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू से एंड सेकंड वन इज वेदर द इकोनॉमी विल इंप्रूव. वन वे टू पैराफ्रेज इज बाय चेंजिंग द ऑर्डर. इसका ऑर्डर चेंज कर दो. राइट. तो जो वेदर वाला स्टेटमेंट है वो पहले डाल देंगे और इट इज डिफिकल्ट है वो बाद में. This is changing the order of the sentence. Let us see what it looks like. Whether the economy will improve, comma, it is difficult to say. ये जो ऊपर वाला सेंटेंस था, it has the same meaning as the one which is in the bottom. बस इनका जो order है वो हमने change कर दिया है. And that is it. That is one way to paraphrase. Another example, during the summer, many people visit the temple. Right? अभी हम order change कर देंगे. Many people visit the temple during the summer. I hope it is clear that both of them have the same meaning. सिर्फ और सिर्फ इनका जो order था वो हमने change कर दिया है. Another example. As languages such as Spanish, English, Chinese become more widely used, there is a fear that many minority languages may die out. एक डर है कि अगर इंग्लिश, स्पेनिश और चाइनीज है वो लैंग्वेजेस बहुत ज्यादा यूज करने लगे तो जो माइनॉरिटी लैंग्वेज है जो कम लोग बोलते हैं वो खत्म हो जाएगी. लेट अस सी द पैराफ्रेज. देयर इज अ फियर that many minority languages may die out as languages such as Spanish, English and Chinese become more widely spread. यहाँ पे हमने order change किया है. There is no much difference. Only the order of the entire sentence is changed. But what else can we do? We can also use synonyms. Paraphrase with changing word order and synonyms. हम दो चीज एक साथ कर सकते हैं. I hope you remember कि एक स्लाइड में हमने बोला था that if a paraphrasing is done perfectly, तो उसमें दो मेथड यूज की होती है, एक नहीं. So what we can do is we can one use the synonyms and two also change the order. दोनों methods एक साथ. Let us see what that would look like. There is dismay that many lesser used languages, minority की जगह पे हमने lesser used लिखा है, may pass away as languages such as Chinese, English and Spanish become more broadly spoken. हमने ऑर्डर तो चेंज किया ही किया है, हमने सिनोनिम्स भी यूज किए हैं, and that is how you effectively use two methods in one. All right. Now this is another method. The hurricane destroyed the city. What are we going to do is we are going to change the active sentence into passive sentence. The city was destroyed by the hurricane. हमने order change किया, yes, but it effectively is called as active and passive. हमने active sentence को passive में convert कर दिया. In the sentence above, the subject क्या है यहाँ पे? The hurricane became the object and the object, which is the city, became the subject. यहाँ पे the hurricane was subject and the city was object. हमने उल्टा कर दिया. The city है उसको subject बना दिया और the hurricane है उसको object. And this is how active passive is done. To be passive, we also changed the verb destroyed into past perfect. Was, were plus past participle. हमने डिस्ट्रॉयड की जगह पे क्या यूज किया, वॉज डिस्ट्रॉयड, हमने वॉज ऐड कर लिया। हमें बी फॉर्म ऐड करना पड़ता है जब हम एक्टिव पैसिव कन्वर्ट करते हैं। अनदर एग्जाम्पल, द पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम वॉज डेवलप्ड बाई द सिटी काउंसिल। यहाँ पे हमें पता है कि what is the subject, then the subject is the public transport, and what is the object, object is the city council, तो city council पहले आएगा, hence the city council developed the public transport system, right? I hope it is clear. Another example, the property developers invested $20 million in the development of the shopping center. अभी हमें पता है यहाँ $20 million है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी आवर ऑब्जेक्ट, तो हम पहले रखेंगे। $20 million was invested in the development of shopping centers. यहाँ पे द प्रॉपर्टी डेवलपर्स है, वी डिड नॉट यूज इट, व्हाई, बिकॉज अगर यूज करना है तो कर सकता है, इट वुड बी लाइक दिस, $20 million was invested in the development of shopping centers by the property developers. But when it comes to passive voice, if we don't want to mention the object, it is again completely fine. Hence, this is how you can just use. We often use passive voice in academic writing when we don't want to say it is our opinion. कई बार ऐसा होता है in your writing task too, that if they have not asked for your opinion, you are not supposed to give your opinion. So when you want to say something without it sounding that it is not without it sounding that it is your opinion, you are going to use active to passive. Say for example, अगर हम directly ऐसे लिखें that people say global warming is caused by burning of fossil fuels. Now you don't want to absolutely say कि कौन बोल रहा है. What are you going to do is you are going to convert this sentence into passive voice. Global warming is said to be caused by the burning of fossil fuels. Who said it? We have not mentioned. Hence, the entire sentence इसमें जो crux जो है कि global warming को हम global warming responsible who is responsible for global warming? Then burning of fossil fuels. Directly वही बात की पर कौन बोल रहा है that is not mentioned, and hence this method is used. Now let us see that how to paraphrase your paragraph 1 of your writing task 2. Paraphrasing an essay prompt to write your introduction. हम introduction कैसे लिखेंगे? In ILDS writing task 2, that is your essay, you write your introduction by paraphrasing the essay prompt. In order to do this, you will need to unpack or break the essay prompt into parts. Usually, an essay prompt consists of 3 parts. हमारा जो essay का introduction होता है, we all know that introduction we do not write it on our own. हमें वो question में से ही लिखना होता है, but in a smart way. If you directly write it as it is, you are not getting marks. Why? Because you are not paraphrasing. हमें paraphrasing करके essay का जो question है वो paragraph 1 of essay उसमें लिखना है. Now what we are supposed to do is जो हमारा पूरा introduction है उसको 3 part में divide करना है. What is the first one? A general statement that introduces the topic. कोई भी topic है उसका introduction दे रहा है वो वाला एक general topic. That is our first division. What is the second one? A specific statement that gives you the specific idea about the topic. एक ऐसा statement जो आपको topic का idea देगा. And the last one is answer. We will see example of these और आपको पता चल जाएगा कि मैं क्या बात कर रही हूँ. Let us take an example. Say for example, ये हमारा question है. The first one which is written in bold, this is our question, and here we will bifurcate the entire question. Let us start reading. Nowadays, more and more foreign students are going to English-speaking countries to learn international language, that is English. It is undoubtedly true that studying English in an English-speaking country is the best way, but it is not the only way to learn it. Do you agree or disagree with this above statement? This is our question, that a lot of students are going to other English speaking countries to learn English, but it is undoubtedly a good way to learn English. But do you think, is it the only way? Like, do you agree with it? This is our question. Let us divide our question into three ways. First one is to unpack this prompt. The first sentence is the general statement. जो सबसे पहला statement होता है वो हमारा general statement होता है. वो कौन सा है? Nowadays, more and more students are going to English speaking countries to learn the international language, that is English. This is first part of our essay, which is the topic. हमें पता यहाँ से चलेगा कि ये essay का पूरा topic क्या है. Then hence we know that it is about learning English. What is the second part? It is the specific sentence. It is undoubtedly true that studying English in an English-speaking country is the best way, but it is not the only way to learn it. Now this is going to be the specific statement. पहला तो general introduction था कि ये टॉपिक के ऊपर आपका ऐसे आने वाला है, पर उस टॉपिक के अंदर आगे भी क्या स्पेसिफिकली उनको टॉपिक में देना है. What is the question of your essay? That is given in our second statement. Right? So in order to write your introduction, you need to paraphrase both these sentences. ये दोनों sentence को आपको paraphrase करना है. How will we do? जो हमारा first part था, the general statement, उसको paraphrase करेंगे हम लोग. Nowadays, more and more foreign students are going to English-speaking countries to learn the international language, English. The paraphrased version is, in recent times, nowadays की जगह पे, in recent times. A growing number of international students are learning English in English-speaking countries, right? You see the meaning is same. We have just changed certain words and that is it. Let us go to the specific sentence, जो हमारा second part था. It is undoubtedly true that studying English in an English-speaking country is the best way, but it is not the only way to learn it. This over here is our specific statement. उसको कैसे paraphrase करेंगे? Let's see. Although it is beneficial to learn English in a country where it is natively spoken, there are other effective ways to learn. You see, meaning is the same, right? यहाँ पे English speaking country लिखा था, यहाँ पे हमने native spoken लिख दिया है, right? Is not the only way to learn की जगह पे there are other effective ways. I see, right? There are not many heavy words or any other words which are used that are tough to understand. The words which are used over here are pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And now this is putting all together. This is the question. और जो last का जो part था, the third would be जो question होता है that do you agree with it? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? These are going to be your last part. और उसका भी हम आंसर दे रहे हैं. So I will read the original essay prompt और उसके सामने जो हमारा essay का introduction किया होगा, I'll read it through. You also read along with me. Come on. Nowadays, more and more foreign students are going to English-speaking countries to learn the international language English. It is undoubtedly true that studying English in an English-speaking country is the best way, but it is not the only way to learn it. Do you agree or disagree with the above statement? This is our question. Now let us see कि हमारा यही essay का introduction कैसा रहेगा. In recent times, a growing number of international students are learning English in English-speaking countries. Although it is most beneficial to learn English in a country where it is natively spoken, there are other effective ways to learn it. I agree with this statement to a large degree. जो last part है, that is finally giving the direction to your essay कि if I am agreeing or I am disagreeing, and that is the last part of your paraphrasing. Now let us practice with another question. Use a combination of the above technique. हमने 3 techniques पढ़ी. First one was synonym, second one was word form, and third one was sentence structure. Synonym मतलब meaning same रहेगा, बस वो शब्द के लिए किसी और similar या फिर same word का इस्तेमाल. Word form मतलब to change your verb into noun, your noun into adjective, or vice versa. And sentence structure मतलब एक्टिव का पैसिव कर दो, पैसिव का एक्टिव कर दो, आपका जो सेंटेंस है उसका जो ऑर्डर है वो चेंज कर दो, राइट? द 3 टेक्निक्स. Write an introduction to the following essay by paraphrasing the prompt below. This is your question. We will do it together. Come on. The overuse of natural resources ultimately exhausts them. This causes huge harm to the environment. What is the question saying? That जो natural resources होते हैं उसका अगर ज़्यादा use कर ले तो वो जो resources है वो खत्म हो जाएंगे, and that is going to cause a harm to the environment. Therefore, the government should discourage people from overusing such resources. किसको discourage करना चाहिए? Government को, public को discourage करना चाहिए. To what extent do you support or oppose this idea? इस आइडिया को किस एक्सटेंड तक आप सपोर्ट कर रहे हो और किस एक्सटेंड तक ओपोज कर रहे हो? Here we have given three different ways. This is way one, this is second way, and third way. All three are individually correct to how you can write your introduction, right? This is the question again. हम लोग first answer read करेंगे, फिर second read करेंगे और third read करेंगे. First one is exploiting natural resources will ultimately deplete them and lead to environmental harm. Therefore, the overuse of these resources should be discouraged by the government. I totally agree with this statement. This is our first answer. I hope you understand कि meaning same रहा है, हमने बस words change कर दिए हैं. Second one, the exploitation of natural resources results in their exhaustion. This causes environmental damage. Thus, government should encourage people to take care not to overuse these resources. I agree with this to a large extent. And third one, the natural resources will ultimately be exhausted if we continue to overuse them. It damages the environment and should therefore be discouraged by government. I agree with this statement to a large degree. All the three methods are used in three different paragraphs. And you can see that there is not large difference, but still all these three paragraphs are quite effective. Words bahut repeat nahi ho rahe, and I'm very sure that if you paraphrase like this, you are less likely to lose your marks. So more than one paraphrase can be correct. There are many ways to say the same thing. There is also more than one way to paraphrase. The best way to paraphrase for LTS writing 2 is to use combination of these techniques. As we saw in the previous slide that there are more than one correct ways to paraphrase. Paraphrasing का कोई correct method नहीं होता, or there is not only one answer to anything. आप अपनी हिसाब से paraphrase कर सकते हो, and if you are following the rules, I'm very sure कि वो जो answer आप दे रहे हो वो सही ही होगा. And the best way to paraphrase is to combine more than one techniques. Now, ultimately, what is left is for you to practice. Practice more. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.